Hi, and welcome back to Let's Play the Da Vinci Code, the game with far too many fucking loading screens at the beginning. Oh, this fucker.
Arthurian legend room. If you would take notice, there are two wonderful paintings depicting the tales of Arthurian knights, and at the doors you will find the armors that they wore.
No, they didn't.
The Arthurian knights had their own heraldry, which is displayed on the shields. You, Miss Naboo, must discern which shield goes with each painting by placing the appropriate shield with its armor. If you examine a shield, I should be more than happy to tell you that knight's tale.
Okay, I'm going to be honest, this is my second time through this bit, because last time I went, I met with a game-breaking fucking glitch, because this game is made by fucking incompetent fucking chimps! So I'm going to, so I know pretty much all the puzzles, but I'm going to go through the actual clues so you see them. He's going to give little Arthurian descriptions about each of these shields and the knights they relate to. I've heard them before, and this dude, the guy who's supposed to be Ian McKellen but clearly isn't. Yeah, his voice annoys the fuck out of me, so I'm going to be taking off my headphones right now so I don't have to hear his fucking shrieking, annoying auditory torture.
This is Percival's shield. Sir Percival was one of the first knights to see the Grail. During his journeys, he came across the castle of the Fisher King, and in the sky above it saw an image of the Grail. Inside, he found that the Fisher King was quite ill and bedridden. But while Percival knelt beside him, a great procession walked down the hall. At the end of the procession, a lady carried a chalice, but Percival failed to inquire about it, and the king was not healed as a result. Percival vowed to find the Grail again someday, and became one of the 3 knights to embark on the final quest for the Holy Grail. Well done. Now, what of the other knight? He looks rather plain without his My dear Sophie, this is the shield of Mordred. Mordred was King Arthur's son, who was born of Arthur's half-sister Morgana. When Arthur and Gawain were away from the kingdom, Mordred seized the throne and took his father's wife, Guinevere, as his own. In the final battle over the kingdom, Mordred fatally wounded Arthur, but was then defeated by Lancelot. One story states Lancelot executed Guinevere, believing she had taken part in the usurpation of the throne willingly, and entombed Mordred with her dead body, which he ate to stay alive until he eventually died of starvation. This is the shield of Lancelot. Sir Lancelot was raised by Vivian, the Lady of the Lake. He was the epitome of chivalry and was always courteous, courageous, and kind. He became the first Knight of the Round Table, but soon fell in love with Queen Guinevere. He slept with Guinevere behind Arthur's back, and when he did so, a broken shield that Vivian had given him became whole again. This is Galahad's shield. Sir Galahad was the son of Lancelot and became a Knight of the Round Table. He saw a vision of angels guiding him to the Holy Grail. Thus, he was selected as one of the 3 knights who would go on a quest for it. When they found the final location of the Grail, Galahad was one of the few allowed to see it. Ah, this is the shield of King Arthur Pendragon. He became king when he pulled the sword Excalibur from a stone. Uther Pendragon, Arthur's father, was the previous owner of Excalibur. Before Uther died, he implanted the sword, which he got from the Lady of the Lake, into a stone, and said that whoever could remove it would be king. Of course, only his own magical bloodline could do so, and thus Arthur ruled over Britannia for many years. This is the shield of Sir Gawain. He was the most chivalrous of the knights and was bound by his honor to do what was right. He was the only knight brave enough to accept the challenge of the mighty Green Knight. Lancelot mistakenly slew Sir Gareth during a rescue of Guinevere, thus causing a bitter rivalry to form between Lancelot and Gawain, who was Gareth's brother. Excellent, Miss Navoo. I trust the Arthurian legends are entertaining?
Not
Yes,
when
I quite
said
enjoyed your
by
tales.
you. You boring, annoying, irritating little sack
I
of
assure you
shit.
that it is no mere...
Oh, I hate this
I
guy.
know, sometimes it's a ball.
No, my dear. You see, as a Grail historian, I'm often asked, where is the Grail? It is rare that people ask me, what is the Grail? Because everyone assumes that it is just an object. It is much more than that. Now that you know the question, why don't we see what answers we can find here?
Oh, I hate this annoying motherfucker. He's so insufferable.
This is probably a passage from the Bible.
Can I see it? Thank you. Take this. Oh my god, why are we so fucking slow? This is painful how slow we are. How slow we move when holding shields and grails is actually giving me a fucking headache.
It's not a cup.
It isn't, but
I actually have pulsing pain in my forehead from how goddamn slow we move.
The legends were intertwined, and it was simply because poets and storytellers continually wrote about it and changed a few things here or there.
So that's why the Grail became a cup?
Not exactly. I'll explain more later.
Oh, I really hope you don't. I want you to fucking die. Or at least get your vocal cords removed. Now, does this work this time?
I need to move the tiles to
Oh,
form a
thank
picture.
Christ. Okay, it's a slide. My problem I was having before is this slide puzzle. I could only move between these two quadrants, so obviously it wasn't actually completable. Okay, that's better. Still, the rage that builds when a glitch like that occurs. I don't think this game was tested at all. Because if they tested this game at all, they would have not made it the way it is. If this game had any playtesting, I don't think it would have its combat system, frankly. But that's just me. I mean, I'm sorry if you like it, but for me the combat system in this game is one of the worst I've ever seen. Vinci's work hard. Don't care. Someone breaking here, or is this just an empty glass box? Music sheet. I hope this game's not expecting me to know how to play piano. I haven't played in about a decade. I can't remember how to... I mean, I can read music, but I can't remember where the notes are situated on the keyboard, so I really hope it's not expecting me to do that. Knowing this game, it probably is. Now, using that Bible clue, the verse 14, line 4, word 3, it's a little confusing, but it turns out to be the word here. As in to here, not I'm here. And I wish I wasn't. Before we do that, though, one of the few things in this level that I've seen that's actually funny is this guy.
Before you ask whatever inane question you are going to ask, think to yourself, am I requesting a service of the butler? If the answer is no, please do keep your mouth shut.
Remy, how long have you worked for Tebing?
My employment does not require me to answer personal questions. If you need some tea or cakes, I would be happy to fetch them for you.
Remy, I was wondering...
Why are you bothering me? You obviously do not need any of my services.
Never mind.
Oi, give me...
Remy, how long have you worked for
Give me a
Tebing?
pot of coffee.
My employment does not require...
I think I'll actually make one after I'm done recording. Nice big pot of coffee and drink it. All of it. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, if anyone who's actually met me in the real world knows I have a serious caffeine addiction. And you can actually tell the difference between recordings when I've had coffee and when I haven't. And sometimes I get a little caffeine high when I record, and that's some of my better recordings. But I kind of want to just get freaking Chatteau Villette out of the way. I probably... Because it is a gamble doing Let's Plays while under the heavy influence of caffeine. I think I'd be losing my mind a la Jack Torrance and Jack Nicholson in The Shining with this game if I had coffee. Anyway, we got sheet music, so let's put it on the piano.
Finally.
What is this? Why is this? What am I being expected to do? But he's all the way over here. What? How? You can't expect me to... No. You cannot expect me to be able to hit arrow key and E key and the mouse all at the same time. That's physically impossible. Fuck this. That was right! Where was my mistake? Where was my mistake? Where was my mistake? Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck this. Fuck. Ow! Why? Right, it was eighth.
Operas of Wagner also speak of the Grail as a vessel in which the blood of Christ was gathered when he was killed on the cross.
But that is not true, is it?
That entirely depends on your interpretation. Grail can mean many things.
Are you familiar with the symbols for male and female?
Of course.
These are not the original symbols. These symbols originated as ancient astronomical symbols for the planet god Mars and the planet goddess Venus. The originals are far simpler. This is the symbol for male, the blade.
Quite to the point.
And this is the symbol for female, the chalice. Legend tells us the Holy Grail is a chalice, a cup. But the Grail's description as a chalice is actually an allegory to protect the true nature of the Holy Grail.
You mean the Grail is a woman?
Exactly. A woman who carried with her a secret so powerful that, if revealed, it threatened to devastate the very foundation of Christianity.
Who is she?
As I mentioned before, Da Vinci painted the true Grail. Come to the dining room when you're ready, and I will show you Da Vinci's painting.
Oh my god. Now we're getting to the interesting part of the Da Vinci Code, The part that is simultaneously
You told me you had a Da Vinci painting that
gave
would
it
show
its
us the true
fame.
Grail?
and
Indeed,
makes
I
it
do.
kind of
I
stupid.
assume you recognize this?
The Last Supper?
Yes. Da Vinci painted many secrets within it. Perhaps you can use what we discussed earlier to find a few of them yourself.
I will try. There is a V shape right in the center between Jesus and John. Robert told me earlier that the V is an ancient symbol for the chalice.
This is quite true, but why would Da Vinci paint a feminine symbol into the Last Supper?
I don't know. It's a painting of 13 men.
Is it? Take a closer look.
What am I supposed to be seeing now? I know what I'm looking for, but that doesn't seem to mean anything to this right now. Nothing seems to be interactable. There? Oh.
Is that an actual image of the Grail?
It's hard to say. It's almost an optical illusion, is it not?
Did Da Vinci mean to say that there was a Grail cup?
Not at all. Since it's an illusory image, I would think he was saying quite the opposite. That the idea of the Grail as a cup is the fake story, and that the real story can be found elsewhere in the painting. It all goes back to the Sangreal.
I have never heard of it.
Sure you have. You're just used to hearing it called the Holy Grail. Holy Grail is the literal meaning of Sangreal. The phrase derives from the French Sangral, which evolved to Sangreal and was eventually split into two words, San-Greal.
Oh, does the world have anything to do with the French word sang, or Spanish sangre meaning blood?
Oh yes, the Grail has much to do with blood, but not in the way you might think. Let's look over the painting some more.
Oh my god, everyone... The voice actors suck in this. They all sound so smug all the time.
That is a woman.
Surprise, surprise. It's no mistake either. Leonardo was skilled at painting the differences between the sexes, but our preconceived notions of the scene are so powerful that our mind blocks out the incongruity and overrides our eyes.
Who is she?
There are other clues within the painting that may reveal her name.
Oh, do we have... This is... I'm starting to understand why this is considered the worst level in the game. What? Okay, that's a
Looks
coincidence.
like an M between Jesus and that woman.
bit too perfect for coincidence, wouldn't you say?
No.
Why is it there?
Countless Grail-related works contain the hidden letter M. Whether as watermarks, underpaintings, or compositional illusions, conspiracists will tell you it stands for matrimonia.
You mean marriage? Jesus was married to this woman?
Their marriage is part of the historical record. These are photocopies of the Nag Hammadi and Dead Sea Scrolls, the earliest Christian records. Troublingly, they do not match up with the Gospels in the Bible. The Gospel of Philip is always a good place to start. And the companion of the Savior is Mary Magdalene. Christ loved her more than all the disciples and used to kiss her often on her mouth. The rest of the disciples were offended by it and expressed disapproval. They said to him, "Why do you love her more than all of us?"
Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene, the prostitute?
Magdalene was no such thing. That unfortunate misconception is the legacy of a smear campaign launched by the early church to cover up her role as the Holy Grail. The early church needed to convince the world that the mortal prophet Jesus was a divine being. Therefore, any Gospels that described earthly aspects of Jesus' life had to be omitted from the Bible.
Like his marriage.
I think we've got what we need to solve the cryptex, Sophie.
There's more to find in Da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper, if you are interested, of course.
I am not interested in anything about the Da Vinci Code, but sure.
Peter looks like he is threatening Mary.
Peter was definitely one of Mary's detractors. After Jesus died and was reborn, there were many debates over who should continue his church. But Mary can tell you that in her own words. Here, read this passage from her Gospel.
And Peter said, "Did the Savior really speak with a woman without our knowledge? Are we to turn about and all listen to her? Did he prefer her to us?" And Levi answered, "Peter, you have always been hot-tempered. Now I see you contending against the woman like an adversary. If the Savior made her worthy, who are you indeed to reject her? Surely the Savior knows her very well. That is why he loved her more than us." So Peter disliked her because Jesus favored Mary over him?
Not only that, the stakes were far greater than mere affection. At this point in the Gospels, Jesus suspects he will soon be captured and crucified. So he gives Mary Magdalene instructions on how to carry on his church after he is gone. As a result, Peter expresses his discontent over playing second fiddle to a woman. I dare say Peter was something of a sexist.
This is St. Peter, the rock upon which Jesus built his church.
The same, except for one catch. According to these unaltered Gospels, it was not Peter to whom Christ gave directions with which to establish the Christian church. It was Mary Magdalene.
You are saying the Christian church was to be carried on by a woman?
That was the plan. Jesus was the original feminist. He intended for the future of his church to be in the hands of his wife.
So many of when you get later into the plot of the Da Vinci Code, and so many of the quote-unquote clues are kind of just leaps in logic and huge assumptions.
Earlier, you mentioned that the Sangreal documents told the true story of Christ.
Ah, you remember? Yes, but as we discussed before, Sangreal derives from San Greal, or Holy Grail, but in its most ancient form, the word Sangreal was divided in a different spot.
Which is what?
Song Real.
Which translates to royal blood.
Precisely.
But whose blood? Christ's?
I believe there's at least one more clue to be had in the Last Supper.
Mary seems to have nearly as much attention from the apostles as Jesus.
I should hope so. She was a very important woman. Few people realize that Mary Magdalene, in addition to being Christ's right hand, was a powerful woman already.
I was under the impression that Magdalene was poor.
Just as many people think Jesus was poor. Yet he was of the house of David, a descendant of King Solomon, king of the Jews. Mary was of the house of Benjamin, also of royal descent. Magdalene was recast as a whore to erase her powerful bloodlines.
But why should the early church care if Magdalene had royal blood?
My dear child, it was not Mary Magdalene's royal blood that concerned the church so much as it was her consorting with Christ. By marrying into the powerful house of Benjamin, Jesus fused two royal bloodlines, creating a potent political union with the potential of making a legitimate claim to the throne and restoring the line of kings as it was under Solomon. The legend of the Holy Grail is a legend about royal blood. When Grail legend speaks of the chalice that held the blood of Christ, it speaks in fact of Mary Magdalene, the female womb that carried Jesus' royal bloodline.
But how could Christ have a bloodline unless...
Unless they had a child.
Behold the greatest cover-up in human history. Not only was Jesus Christ married, but he was a father. My dear, Mary Magdalene was the holy vessel. She was the chalice that bore the royal bloodline of Jesus Christ. She was the womb that bore the lineage, and the vine from which the sacred fruit sprang forth.
Then there must be some way to trace the family line.
So, what do you get if you take the ridiculous, boring script of the Da Vinci Code and give it to
Your grandfather may have been the last man to know the secret
completely untalented actors?
bloodline.
Pain.
Why he was killed.
This is
We may
painful.
never know exactly why someone would murder your grandfather in cold blood.
Oh my god, there's more? Just give me a checkpoint so I can stop, please. What's this? A little goblin creature sitting it's got a little boglin on his back. What am I looking for? Scan every inch of the painting. Yes, a game based on a boring-ass movie by the people who made Broken Sword. How could this possibly go wrong? Alright, can I go now? Can you go now? Please, can you go now? Oh my god, we're not done? What else is there to find?
I think there's more to find. Let's keep looking.
But why? I don't care, though.
That is not right.
What am I looking for? Oh, there's something. Excuse me. That is nothing. Okay. Sorry, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be looking for, so I have to look this up. Because there's nothing that's highlighting. Bear with me a bit. Is this thing right here? That's just the man's neck. You know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna enter the thing into the cryptex. Let's stop pulsing. Why did I ever think deciding to let's play this stupid game was a good idea?
Cryptic's poem tells me that the Last Supper gives me the answer. I should go over them both once more. Robert, what is this in the Cryptic's poem about his right hand?
I don't think it's talking about his actual hand. I believe it's referring to the person on his right-hand side.
Who is the person on Jesus' right?
You're joking, right? Starts with an M, ends with an E. She's the true Holy Grail.
Yeah, but how do I spell it?
The Cryptic's poem tells me that the Last Supper gives me the answer. I should go over them both once more.
Is it this? So it's not going to let me enter it until I find everything. Oh, fuck this game. Oh my god, fuck this game. Oh, this is awful. And this music is really starting to get on my nerves. There's nothing else to find. Just let me solve it and leave.
That's
please.
Room, right?
I want to stop playing. Gotta check again. I don't know what I'm missing in the puzzle. It's gotta be something. Because I put in the answer. Or unless I misspelled it. Oh, I'm sorry, you decided to change the spelling of the word? It's...
Did you hear?
Give the cryptex to me.
Hey, something happened.
Quickly, to the basement.
The basement?
Magdalene.
It has a safe room.
That was Magdalene. I didn't know it was Magdalene. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. This game is really fucking bad. There's no other way to put it. This game's fucking awful. Please, checkpoint. Please. Christ.
I can't be certain, but I believe he's the one who killed Sister Sandrine.
I don't care.
Obviously, he's interested in you now, and he specifically wants the cryptex. This won't do at all.
Is there a way out of here that doesn't go through him?
Well, if he's found you here, he obviously is resourceful. Someone will have to go up there and knock him out.
I'll do it.
Don't be ridiculous. You are in no condition to fight that monster.
I doubt very much you could knock him unconscious, Miss Naboo. But I'm afraid she's right, Robert. Perhaps if we had some sort of weapon. Ah, yes.
What? Do you have a gun?
I'm a good shot with the pistol.
No, nothing quite so barbaric. Take a look at this.
Da Vinci's drawing of a ballista? You don't have one, do you?
I'm afraid I don't have all of one, but I do have the frame right here.
What good is that if it does not work?
Well, it occurred to me that we might be able to make it work with some of the artifacts I have upstairs. Remy is something of an engineer in his spare time. Very true.
What do you have upstairs that would make it work?
Why, the other pieces of the ballista. There are unique properties to each piece, and I was studying them in different rooms of the house. They are, most unfortunately, scattered about and quite heavy.
Okay.
Then I will get them for us.
That's very brave, Sophie, but I really think I should go with you.
If you insist, Robert. But let me handle moving the large pieces. A good gust of wind could bowl you over right now.
If you insist, my lady.
Miss Naboo, do be careful. I doubt very much that Robert will be more than a distraction for this giant of a man, but Robert does have the cryptex, and that's the only thing this lunatic seems to want. If Robert should get into trouble, use a mace or a fire poker, whatever you can find to stop that monster from killing Mr. Langdon. We still need him if we want to find out where the cryptex leads.
Don't worry. I won't leave Robert to die. We'll get through this, Sir TB. I mean, Sir B. Together or not at all?
Sophie, let's go. I don't see him out there.
Get a checkpoint? Do we get a checkpoint? Please? Christ? A checkpoint? Fucking thank God! I've been Merrick D'Amato, and this has been the fucking Da Vinci Code. Fuck this game! Ciao. Hi. Thanks for watching. This has been played and recorded by me, Merrick D'Amato. The art was by Rafaela Agrona, and you can find a link to her commission page in the description below. See you next time.